We are the ones who are making the change each day by partnering with businesses, by partnering with the government. We have Trent with HSA here, we have Barbara Garcia with the Department of Public Health. We're really grateful to everybody that comes out. So many of you take the day off of work and you say, I am going to do something for my neighbors experiencing homelessness, because you understand that it's much more than just somebody sleeping on the street. It's about a community where some people don't have the access they need to live the lives that we want them to live. So I'm excited to introduce Mayor Lee, who understands that and who I have seen from a coffee shop sitting there, him walking down the street and a homeless person stop, and him literally stand there for minutes, shaking his hand and giving a card. I've seen him take that personal contact, and that's the type of leadership that San Francisco needs. And so welcome, as we always do, our wonderful Mayor Lee.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. All right. How you like being in San Francisco? This is a great place. All right, well, a lot of people love this place. A lot of people come to this city, or things happen to them and things don't work out. And then we find them, many of them on our streets, and we need to help them. And our Project Homeless Connect is a huge reflection of our city's compassion. I want to thank Kara, her entire staff, but most important, we know that our city can't help our homeless just by government, that we can do a lot, and I'm going to tell a little bit about what we're doing, but before I do that, I will say this: we can never do a better job without the volunteers like all of you. Thank you for coming out today and helping out our homeless, get all the services that they need. I understand the Hotel Council's in the room. Thank you, Hotel Council. I understand the Grassroots Gay Foundation is here. Thank you. So many other companies and corporations, employees, residents, just folks that want to help out. And you've got a heart. You've got the big heart. And our city, what it's famous for is that very big heart, just like Tony Bennett always sings, and you're reflective of that. You know, today is about providing another touch, another welcome, haircut, some services, maybe some teeth get fixed, some counseling, some direct health benefits, some services, bring people off the streets for a little while, get them in shelter. Maybe then we can have a conversation as was designed by the original people that kicked off. When I was working for Gavin Newsom, he told me about his idea of Project Homeless Connect, and now working with Bevan, and now I get to work with Sam Dodge. We couldn't get Bevan out of his bed today. He's resting. But, you know, the dream was that we would have an opportunity to just touch people so that maybe we can talk about where they came from and how we can help them going forward. Now we've got Project Homeless kind of every day outreach going on, and that's incredible. And that's with 24/7 services. But we have more than that, because that just touches people when they need us for a moment. What we want to do, and I think what you know the ultimate answer is, we should house people on a sustainable basis and provide them with support that they need. Isn't that the way to treat our homeless population? Yeah. It's not about moving them from corner to corner, from encampment to encampment. We really need to figure this out. And that's why we constructed this navigation center that we started at 16th and Mission that gave us a glimpse, a view for some limited number of people, some 255 people who've come through the navigation center in the last 9 months, all either permanently housed with support services, all 255 of them, or about 16% of them said, I want to go home. Can you help me connect up with my family? And we didn't just send them home. We connected up with family who welcomed them back in. That's the Homeward Bound program. So we got people the right human touch. Well, it's still not enough. We still see too many of our brothers and sisters on the streets, and we can do more. And that is why I announced, with the support of a lot of people who've been working on this issue, including Project Homeless Connect and others, for so many years, and to know that we've got to do more for more people. And that's why we're consolidating into a new department, a department to end homelessness. How about that name? Right? Yeah, and I'm not such a politician that I'm going to announce we're ending homelessness. You know that's not going to be that true. But I will tell you this. What's real is I'm going to end homelessness for 8,000 people forever before my term is up, with your help. That's accomplishable. That's doable. That can be done with this department. Because I get to, when we organize this department together, it's kind of like with Project Homeless Connect, but I will have 20 to 30 people in that department whose number one focus coming into work every single day is going to be, who can I help come off the streets and into permanent housing with supportive services? That's going to be their number one mantra. That's what we're going to do. And so we get to do that every single day with a department whose mission and whose function, whose budget is to end homelessness for some individual, some woman with children, families out there, a veteran. They're going to have that as their everyday work to complement the reason why you're here today. Is that we're going to continue this robust volunteerism that we have to help people, to make sure they know we have compassion first. But it will take even deeper compassion to make sure we've got the housing and the supportive services to have them permanently off the streets forever. This is a commitment we make. I'm proud to do that. I'm proud to have a second term to be able to do that and have a strong city economy to make sure that we have the resources to do all of that. We need all of that. We need the volunteers. But most importantly, we will always welcome your compassion to help people who are less fortunate out. They're like us. You know, sometimes if you think about it, we might be 1 or 2 rent payments away from having a catastrophe event that we might need some help to get out of. Everybody will feel that. We know that. Homelessness is not about just people who have been on the streets for years. Some people have things happen to them, and we got to help them out. This is what San Francisco is all about. So thank you for being here as Project Homeless Connect volunteers. Thank you for coming out and being part of the Project Homeless Connect. Thanks for all of your passion, and we'll make sure that you're going to be part of a city that does it right. Thank you for being here today.
How do I top that? I love that idea. 8,000, let's do this. You know, PHC for a long time, we are at 25 NS. We have sometimes 40 to 100 people come into a very tiny office. We always talk about what we can do. We can do so much. But one thing that we can't do right now in our office is it's small. We can't serve as many people as we'd like. And we have other partners who are losing space because of housing. What we would love to do is really create, as Mayor Lee is saying, a hub to where anybody who's experiencing homeless can come in, get an individual living plan. If they're at risk of being homeless, they can come in and talk to one of our lawyers. We have such a robust program now that you can come into our office any day. And let's say you need to talk to a lawyer. Let's say you need to get glasses. We can get those things for you now on a daily basis to where you don't have to wait. But soon, I hope next year to announce that we're in a storefront and that we're even doing more. Because a lot of you volunteers come in every day and are offering coffee. And we really appreciate that you volunteers don't just come today, but there's volunteers every single day at Project Homeless Connect. Every day. And it amazes me that people give up their time, but that's exactly what Mayor Lee was talking about. We're a community that is giving connections. We're saying you matter. By showing up, we're saying we want you to have every opportunity. We want to give you the San Francisco win, and San Franciscans are winners. Let's make sure that everybody has that opportunity. So, thank you. We wouldn't be able to do these events without having sponsors. Each of these events cost, obviously, a good amount of money. And so each year we have a sponsor. We have a new sponsor for this December. And it's a really exciting sponsor because we were able to have a wonderful party with them. And I can tell you, they party hard. So today I want to welcome Richard Delfave from the Grassroots Gay Rights Foundation. They are doing amazing work in trying to point out LGBT issues. And when they found out that 20% of the people that are experiencing homelessness are LGBT, when they walk down the streets and see the young youth that have been kicked out of their homes, they wanted to make a difference. And so they are sponsoring today's event, and we're excited to continue to partner to shine a light that on each section. We understand that homelessness isn't a one-size-fits-all problem, nor is there a one-size-fits-all solution. And so it takes looking at each individual to come up with solutions. And we thank you for helping us have funding to look at the LGBT issue. So thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I can't think of a finer way to start the day than in the company of people who've decided to take time out of their precious lives to help heal the disconnect between those who are living on the street and the rest of society. It's no surprise that the logo for Project Homeless Connect is two hands clasping. Nothing can bridge that divide more effectively than the human touch, and you're here today to provide that. The Grassroots Gay Rights Foundation is committed to changing lives by supporting organizations like Project Homeless Connect, who create happy, healthy, and connected communities. When they approached us this year for a grant, we were struck first by the community-based service model that they provide. With only 13 staff members, they reach 5,400 people. And the only way that they're able to do that is because people like yourselves are willing to take the time, they trust the mission, and are here today to do your part to start to end homelessness in San Francisco. And secondly, they presented us with a compelling model when we learned for the first time that nearly 30% of the homeless in San Francisco are in the LGBT community. We are very proud to be sponsoring a 2-year project with them to help reach that community. I know that some of you in the audience have been homeless, others have been more fortunate. But all of us know that the gesture of reaching out, particularly at this time of the year, can begin to change the dynamic of hopelessness. Thank you all so much for being willing to take that step. Some of us wish to be remembered for our wit, some of us for our accomplishments, but how much more fulfilling to be remembered for our kindness. We at Project Homeless Connect and the Grassroots Gay Foundation applaud you for yours. Thank you.
One of our other great sponsors is the Hotel Council, and we've been really excited. I don't know if you've been seeing in the newspaper about Union Square Cares. We want people, because we understand that when you walk by somebody suffering, it hurts. And you want an answer, you want to know who to call, you want to know how to make it better. We've come up with the 800 number for people to call when they see somebody that needs help. We've also come up with easy ways of helping fund people instead of just giving cash, because you know what happens? You give cash to somebody on the street, and that's great. They can get that cup of coffee. I've said this before. They come into our office. We can give them that beautiful cup of coffee, but we can also give some socks that somebody just gave me today. And we can also give some toothbrush and get them connected to life-changing services like housing. And that's really what's important, is making that connection. So one of our great partners, and somebody that I adore, is Kevin Carroll with the Hotel Council. And I want to shout out, I think there's 200 or 150. They're not all here. I know some are coming this afternoon. But a big shout out to the Hotel Council and to all of you who every day are talking to tourists and talking to people, explaining what this issue is. So Kevin, welcome.
Thanks so much, Kara. I want to thank Project Homeless Connect and your team, Jessica, Emily, and Kit. You've been incredible to work with as we organize our group that's coming out here. And also thank you to Mayor Lee and the city departments for all your leadership. It's exciting to see the news that's been happening and everything that you've been pulling together. As a lifelong resident of San Francisco, I'm proud of this city, and I know there's a lot that can be done, and we really appreciate the partner that the city has. Sam and Trent and the whole group with the city, we just really appreciate it. Many of our hotels have been involved with Project Homeless Connect from the beginning and volunteering throughout the years, and they're working in different projects. But this year we announced a long-term partnership that will continue to work with Project Homeless Connect. I would like all the hotel and the San Francisco Travel Association that partnered with on this to raise your hand if you're in the room. Wonderful. It's incredible. On behalf of our board and our board president, Tom Klein from the Fairmont, I want to thank everyone that's come out here today, and we do look forward to learning more about how we can help, how we can continue to make connections, and really to increase our commitment as well. Thank you very much.
I spoke a little bit about some of the changes that have happened this year. One of the great things we started doing is outreach walks and education. We bi-monthly invite all people who are in social services working in this field to come to where we have a discussion with an expert, whether it be in LGBT health, it could be on Medicare, anything that somebody that's experiencing homelessness might need. We come together, and we found that when we as social workers know each other, we answer the phone a little faster, we get things moving faster, so the more we work together, the better we're doing. So we're excited about that. Another thing we've started is outreach walks. I hope that you guys will come and join us for one of those walks. We, during this, have continued to expand. When we first started Everyday Connect a couple of years ago, I remember with Mayor Lee opening this, we thought maybe we would have a few phone calls. Now, sometimes we have 100 people standing in our office. And that shows that there are a lot of people who trust PHC, and they trust us because they've met one of you, they've met one of us, but there's still more that needs to get done. And we're really excited to, as we move into this new year, to change some of our strategies. And so I want to introduce you and make tell you about a couple of changes that we have. The first is my deputy director, Emily Cohen, who, Emily, can you come up for a second? I have been out on FMLA for a few months, and Emily has done things beautifully, perfectly, and she doesn't mind when I call her every 5 minutes, which is amazing. So I'm just really proud to see her now going. She's going to be with the Mayor's Office of Hope. We all understand this isn't about an agency. This is about a mission to end homelessness. And I actually think we can end homelessness. I think we can get it to, we can get it down to, what is the word I'm looking for?
An effective zero.
Effective zero, that's the word I always use. We can get it to an effective zero. And I think that we have the right people wanting to do that. We have the right people wanting to make success with Sam and Emily. And so I'm really excited that we can continue to partner with Emily now at the Mayor's office. But I will miss her daily. She might still be getting calls and texts in the middle of the night from me. So Tawny, who will now be getting the calls, I want to introduce Tawny Bailey, who's our replacing Emily as the Deputy Director of Programs. She's going to be directing the programs, the Outreach Walk, all of our fundraising. So if you have any questions about Everyday Connect, if you have questions about Outreach Walk, or any fundraising questions, those will go through Tawny Bailey. She has 10 years experience managing homeless services, recently coming from managing Compass. And then Kate Greca, you all know she's been our events leader, fearless and amazing. Kate, woo! We have added additional duties, and she is now the Deputy Director of Events and Marketing. And for those of you who have seen some of the marketing around here, it's been amazing. Just changing our website has made it so much easier for people to sign in to volunteer, and we're going to continue to do better. But also changing it to where we have participants now that don't need to leave the library. They can just get services right online. So we're doing a lot of great work. I want to thank my team, thank my staff, say goodbye to Emily. And I am just really excited for our future. Kit, can you come up? Kit is now our new events manager. And so I'm going to have her end with closings. And I want to say thank you. She put on a wonderful event today, as she always does. And we're excited to see her grow in that role.